Greetings, Glitter Gang, and happy Thursday. This is part 2 of the Thursday night show, and we are working on what I'm now calling the bumper pocket. We've fully completed a bumper pocket. It works. It looks good on the page. We've gotten all the way from theory to practice. So we are going to work on the second one in this video. I'm just getting the video from the previous part of the show uploading so it doesn't take 5 million years later. All right. So anyway, we were recently just talking about bees, actually, bees and hornets, and how there are very few hornet fans in the chat. Very few hornet fans in the chat. Yeah, not a lot of hornet stands in the chat, but oh well. I doubt the hornets care. I think they're probably fine with it. So. All right. Okay. So this is what we just made. So it's in our book. Okay. And this is now the front of the pocket. So we still have all this room in our expanding accordion pocket to put inserts and such. But now we also have these 3 beautiful tags showcased on the front. So now we're just going to do another one. So let me just grab this little stack. And we'll get to work on these. So let's cut these apart and think about what we might want to do with them. Maybe we could read, I guess we could do, I was asked this afternoon if, well, never mind. I was going to say we could just do the Ardent Swarm, but I said we were either going to read the book we had planned to read or we were going to skip it. It seemed to me that folks were leaning towards skipping it, just taking August off from book club and then going to the Irish book. I think it's an Irish book that's next. So we'll just take it off. But if you're looking for something a little bit different to read, there is the Ardent Swarm for you. You've read up to and including book 11. Good job, Jill. I mean, we could just do a place for us. I can probably read it. I mean, I've got 2 weeks. And like I said, I'm reading the right stuff now, but I can just read the other book when I finish it. All right, so I'm just cutting these out so I can put them on the green cardstock that matches our pages. Okay. All right, so now let's punch these out, and I'm going to just use my... What else? I read a lot of short books recently. I also read North to Paradise by Usman Omar. That was super sad. Yeah, that was really sad. I mean, not totally. I mean, yeah, no, it was. I mean, it has a good ending. But it's a memoir of a boy from Ghana who walks to Europe, essentially, more or less. And it's, like I said, it's a real story, because he sees an airplane and he asks his village elders what that is, and they're like, it's not a thing white people do. And but he's just so fascinated by it. He wants to learn how to fly it, build it, whatever. So he decides he's going to have to go, you know, to where the white people are, and it takes years, and it's horrible, and he sees, you know, just awful, just, you know, terrible danger, etc. So, but, you know, it's a memoir, so you know he makes it. So, but, yeah, that one was tough. And I've already read the Satanic Verses. I read that last year, but I got the audiobook for Quixote, which is his Salman Rushdie's Don Quixote, Don Quixote retelling. So I'm curious about what that's like. If you don't know, Salman Rushdie, the author, was stabbed before a talk last week. So that's his book that the Satanic Verses is his book that people want to kill him over. So I am gonna glue this down. So somewhere in New York, I believe, I think at a university, and he has a fatwa with a bounty on his life, has had since 1988. I think it's $3 million. Put there by the late Ayatollah Khomeini for the book, The Satanic Verses. And so that's the why. That's almost certainly the why. Supposedly, allegedly, his stabber had been in touch with the Iranian, is it the Royal Guard, National Guard, Revolutionary Guard? I think it's Revolutionary Guard. I think it's an R. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard. So they do suspect it is about the Satanic Verses. And from 1988 to 1998, he had to live completely in hiding. Two of his translators of the Satanic Verses have been killed. Again, likely because of this. I've read the Satanic Verses. And there is a character in the book that you could read as the late Ayatollah Khomeini. It seemed to me that's who that character was supposed to represent. And I will just say it's not an extremely flattering portrayal. So I think it's probably personal more than religious, but you know, or it's personal and religious, but I think there's definitely a personal element, or was, because it's not the current Ayatollah, it's the late Ayatollah, his grandfather. But yeah, that character definitely felt like that's who it was supposed to be. Not that that's, I mean, that's not an excuse. Like, it's obviously, I'm just saying, I think I'm not sure it's all purity. It's all purity minded, I guess is what I'll say. I do think it's personal. It was personal, at least partially. But anyway, yeah, he's a free speech absolutist. Because of this, largely, I think, as well. But, yeah, so, yeah, last week. Anyway, so the Satanic Verses is now climbing the charts. A lot of people have bought it because of this incident. Yeah, I think he has had, what the last that I read was that he had some very serious injury to his liver that was not something that would be like fixed with surgery or easily overcome. It was something he was going to have to learn to live with, as well as an injury to one of his arms that was similar, as in not something that could be completely, you know, surgically repaired or whatever, and he would have to learn to live with. And then I had heard, or read rather, that there was a possibility that he had been stabbed in the eye during the attack and that he might lose the eye, but I haven't heard if he did or did not, or if there was any update on that. So Midnight's Children, which is his first book, I don't know if it's his first book, but it's the book that like made him famous first, and then the Satanic Verses made him really famous. But Midnight's Children, that's about the transfer of India's control of India from the British back to the Indians. So that's what that book is about. It's magical realism is the genre. And he won the Booker Prize for that in 1981. And then recently, when they did the 50 years of the Booker, they had the judges judge every book that had ever won and pick an overall winner, which the Midnight Verses was the overall, or not the Midnight Verses, the Midnight's Children was the overall winner. So, yeah, I mean, he's an incredibly talented writer. I don't think that's like a hot take that you needed to come to me for. But yeah, he's if you have it, I know his stuff is intimidating, believe me, but give it a try. You know, it's worth a try. What surprised me about Satanic Verses when I read it last year was that it could have been written last year. Like, all the themes he was talking about were so relevant still, you know. Okay, so I'm going to use not the clock on these. So this is the one with the little house for this one. So I'm going to cut a 5 1/4 inch strip, and I want to get as much of this section as I can. So anyway, so 5 1/4 by 10 3/4. All right. So this is not 5 1/4. This is 6 1/8. So we still need to lose about another inch from this. I think I'm going to take it mostly from this cupcake because I don't want to lose too much of this straw. Okay, so there we go. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ink the outside edges of this because it'll just be a little easier before I cut holes in it. And then we'll cut holes in it. And actually, I'm gonna put the strings in these so that the glue on the knot can just be drying while I work on the rest of it. All right, so I'm gonna punch these holes. All right. This is so, yeah, isn't this pretty? These are really cute pages. They did a really beautiful job with these. This is Dreaming in Sugar Plums by Paper Phenomenon, and I have links in the video description to it. If you're watching live, and if not, just you can just Google, if you Google Paper Phenomenon Sugar Plums, it should come right up. But yeah, this paper is really nice. Really, really pretty. All right, so I read Viola Davis's memoir this month. And so now we're trying to watch How to Get Away with Murder. We tried to watch it when it first came out, like its first season, but we just didn't, because we did have cable at the time, but then we stopped having cable and it was hard to keep track of. So, but it's on Netflix now. So has anybody seen all of that? And is it worth checking out? I know the actress who played Paris in Gilmore Girls, I always loved her on Gilmore Girls. She's in it. It's pretty good. Yeah, we're not gripped yet, which is too bad because we love Viola. Viola, that's how she pronounces her name, because I listened to the audiobook because she read it. Viola is how she says it. So, but yeah, we love her, and I just thought Paris was one of the best parts of the Gilmore Girls, honestly. So, what's her name? Liza something? Liza something, maybe? She's not in the show as much as I would like, but maybe later on she'll be in the show more. The very last season got weird. Yeah, we just now found out who they murdered, so we're not very far. Thank you, Kim. Ah, I'm so happy about. Okay, so now these are all ready to go. We can get to work on this. So what we want to do here is the book is a tough read. So I will say that her life was extraordinarily difficult. And so it's a very tough read, a lot of trauma, a lot of really significant hardships, not a lot about Hollywood, and Broadway. Like, it's not as, it's not about Hollywood, and it's not all doom and gloom, but it's a rough one. It's a rough one. So, I think you kind of have to just be prepared for that. Which I wasn't actually necessarily. I was thinking it was going to be more like a How I Became Famous kind of Hollywood story sort of a thing, and it wasn't, which is not to say that it's a bad book, because it's not a bad book, but it's just, you know, you need to be prepared for it, I guess, is what I'll say. Just be prepared for it. There's a lot of really rough stuff. There's a lot of abuse, you know, a lot of just tough topics tackled. So, yeah. So, just, you know that it's not for the faint of heart. It's not going to be an easy, breezy Hollywood story kind of a deal. That being said, you know, she really is very vulnerable with you as the reader. I think there's a lot of bravery in the book. Absolutely. So, and a lot of honesty. And it's really powerful. So the way is that about the Sacklers? Gretchen? Or that's Empire of Pain, right? Or that's the book anyway. Yes, about the Sacklers. Okay. Yeah, the Sacklers. Another group. Them and Invitation Homes. It's like all these monsters. I read, after you read Dope Sick, Gretchen, or watch Dope Sick, if you want a different look at the same issue, Johan Hari, the journalist, he wrote a book called, what's it called? Gosh. What is it called? It's about drugs. Oh, something Scream. Chasing the Scream. That's what it's called. It's about kind of the history of prohibition in the United States, particularly, like it does include alcohol, but particularly in regards to heroin, and the opiates, and you know, what's working and what's not working, like what's not working here and what's working in other countries, and like what we could be doing, you know, here, like what changes could be made. Because there are you know, better ways to deal. I say this all the time. I don't know if I say it here all the time, but I think we've given the war on drugs a good try. It's been over 100 years. It's been over $1 trillion. It just gets worse and worse. Maybe we can say, okay, ooh, autobiography that's the most touching. Let's think. I always recommend Andre Agassi, his autobiography, because I think it's both touching and interesting, because he also had a hard life, but it's like it's not totally sad. You know, because he does break it up with like teaching you about tennis and how tennis works and his impact on the sport and that sort of thing. So, you know, when he has his happy ending, you're happy for him, but like it's not as sad. Viola Davis's, I mean, her story also has a happy ending, but it's really like, you know, it takes like a lot is taken out of her before then, so it's sadder for longer. I would say it's touching. I mean, I was devastated, but it's a lot. You know, it's a lot. It's not touching necessarily in like it's sad. I always recommend Carrie Elwes's book about the filming of his memories of filming The Princess Bride, because he loves that movie so much. And it's just really so it's like such a beautiful tribute to all the people who worked on that film. That's a good one. Let's see what else. I read Faith Jones, her memoir, Sex Cult Nun, about the children of God. That's another really, really, really rough one. So you have to be prepared for, but she's like a really great writer, and if you've ever been interested in the children of God, you know, she's the granddaughter of the founder. So she I'll look up some more, but in a minute, let me just get this stuck down first. But memoirs I want to read, Lauren Graham's memoir, Talking as Fast as I Can. That one I definitely want to get to. Yes. Carrie Elwes's book is called As You Wish. That's correct. And Andre Agassi's book is called Open, and Viola Davis's book is called Finding Me. So, okay, let me just quickly see if I can see in Goodreads. I don't typically rate memoirs. North to Paradise is the one I just read by Usman Umar. That's another sad one. I mean, again, it has a happy ending, but it's like a lot to get through. Oh, I read Blake Crouch's new book, Upgrade, and I think it was my least favorite of the three books of his I've read. Yeah, I think I liked Dark Matter and Recursion more. So Goodnight Gracie by George Allen is good, Melanie says. Yeah, I agree. Why are we tracking all this stuff? So some billionaires can make more money, because if they can't have all the money in the world, then they won't ever be happy. Oh, I read the Patrick Melrose books. Those are auto fiction. Those are also rough. And I actually don't recommend them. Normally, I'm not too like judgmental about memoirs because I don't want to feel like I'm rating people's lives. Okay, you know what I mean? But like those, I don't know. No. No thanks. Oh, Notes from a Young Black Chef by Kwame Onwuachi. That was really interesting. It's about his parents send him to Nigeria to live with his grandfather when he gets into some like behavioral problems or whatever, and then he learns all about Nigerian food while he's there, and he becomes well, he's a Nigerian like fusion chef now. Do we still read what then? Patrick Melrose by Edmund St. Aubin. I mean, Patrick Melrose is, I mean, if Patrick Melrose sounds interesting to you, I would read Patrick Melrose, because I don't ever want to like say don't read a book. I personally, I did not think it was, like, I thought it was very unevenly written, and it did not work for me at all. Oh, Upgrade. Upgrade. I mean, Upgrade to me is kind of like, if you go in it expecting a fun action romp that is got science also, particularly if you liked Limitless, then yeah, go for it. Like, I think if you lower your expectations, so if you're like, first of all, I think it's more like Dark Matter than Recursion. Dark Matter is more personal, and Recursion is more like existential. And Upgrade is kind of in the middle, but I think it's closer to Dark Matter, so it's like more like a guy's personal journey, and you know. But I don't know. It just felt, I didn't connect with it the way that I connected with the other two. It's not physics. It's genetics. So it is a little bit different. I don't know if that's the problem with it necessarily. Like, it's not like I'm out here gobbling up all the physics thrillers, you know what I mean? But, okay, this one's going to be easy because this is actually the one that has all of the scribblings on it. So it should be easier to put it together. All right, so we've got 2 longs and 2 shorts, and then we'll make another skinny one. We got to make another skinny one for our little bumpers. So yeah, I don't think Upgrade is bad. It's a fun time, but it's for me, it didn't hit on the same level as the other two. So, you know, my order would be Recursion, then Dark Matter, then Upgrade. That would be the order that I like them in. So just because it was my least favorite of his books doesn't mean it was a bad book, because I don't think it is a bad book. I just didn't like it as much. And I went into it like, okay, Blake Crouch, blow me away again. And then I was like, oh, I didn't get blown away. So don't go into it expecting him to blow you away, and you might get blown away. Oh, and I already told you we saw Top Gun. I think I'll see Bullet Train next. I think that's going to be my next movie. That has a book, by the way. That's an adaptation, Bullet Train. I've been kind of thinking about reading it, but ultimately I don't know how much I would like a book about a bunch of people trying to kill each other on a bullet train. I feel like that's something that maybe in its cinematic format would be more my speed. Oh, I saw Marcel the Shell with shoes on. That movie was so sad. My sister and I were like sobbing in the theater over this shell. Oh yeah, how was Where the Crawdads Sing? Protect and Defend by Richard North Patterson. I'll have to look that up. I have not read a ton of memoirs, and I want to read more because I want to read, I heard Will Smith's is really good, and I also heard Matthew McConaughey's is really good. So, and I want to get some, you know, non-Hollywood people as well, but it's just those are the ones that seem to I want to read Educated by Tara Westover too. That's another one I want to read. Oh, I read Nomadland. That's a book. I actually read it this year. Oh wait, did I talk about it? But yeah, I did read the book Nomadland. All right, so the front is all prepped. We just need to miter the corners and then put in our bumpers on our little piece here. But I tried to read The Sandman because the show is out, but I do not like the art at all. So it's one of those that I put down and then don't pick back up at all. So I don't think it's for me. Okay. All right, we've got everybody. So we're going to start at the bottom. Okay. Just gonna do yeah, Nomadland was good. All right. Okay, so here we go. All right. So we got those two. Let's get this one. All right. So this one goes, put this one on the side. And then we'll cut this one in half and use it for the two smaller bumpers here. All right, and then the other one will go there. Put that there. And give it a little side bumper. Not a little one, but all right. Okay, so we've got all our bumpers in, and now we can peel the tape. And then we'll, press the tape, press the back, press the flap down, so. Okay. All right, we've got another one to stick in the book. Oh, we did it. We got two of them done. We invented a new pocket. And we got two of them done and in the book. Look at us. Look, admire its cuteness. Okay. Now let's get the other one in. Look what we have done. Woo! Oh my gosh. This one's cute too. How cute. Oh, I was like, this didn't stick down right. I'm literally, that's the accordion that I put in there. Oh my goodness. It's so cute. All right, so we're just going to remove this tag so we can put our magnet. I love the bumper pocket. I love it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so we just have one more bumper pocket to do. And then we'll work on what do we want to do with the backs of these. And also, actually, what we do need to do once we're done with the last bumper pocket is, honestly, we need to, you know, decorate these and so that and maybe do inserts for the front. But anyway, so there's still work to be done in this album. But honestly, I mean, these are really, I love these. These, look at, I mean, they're so cute. They're so cute. So I'm very pleased with these bumper pockets 1 and 2 complete. Just one more bumper pocket and then we'll move on to the next piece of the book. So thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for your patience while we were gone being sad. We appreciate all of your kind words and messages so much. Everyone who wrote to us to express sympathy, who kept us in your thoughts and prayers, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. You know, it has been really sucky. It has been really sucky, but we are getting through it. So, you know, it just takes time. It just takes time. But thank you so much, everyone. And I will be back next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time and 9 p.m. Eastern USA time to continue this book. All these videos will be available in the archives as well as in a YouTube playlist for you to enjoy, so you can make your own Christmas books and have them ready for the holidays. And I will see you next time. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Bye now.